Hello children, how are you? I hope you all are doing good. Children, now we will do active and passive voice. A transitive verb has two voices, active voice and passive voice. Now active voice, when the verb shows that the subject does the action, the verb is said to be in the active voice. जब सेंटेंस शो करेगा कि एक्शन सब्जेक्ट ने किया है तो वो एक्टिव वॉइस होगा. नेक्स्ट इज पैसिव वॉइस, व्हेन द वर्ब शोज दैट द सब्जेक्ट रिसीव्स और सफर्स द एक्शन, द वर्ब इज सेड टू बी इन द पैसिव वॉइस. पैसिव वॉइस में क्या होता है? सब्जेक्ट इज द रिसीवर ऑफ द एक्शन. एक्टिव वॉइस में सब्जेक्ट इज द डूअर, इन पैसिव वॉइस सब्जेक्ट इज द रिसीवर ऑफ द एक्शन. नाउ लुक एट द फॉलोइंग सेंटेंसेस. He wrote a letter. In second sentence, a letter was written by him. What is the difference between these sentences? In sentence 1, the subject he is the doer of the action. In other words, the subject of the verb acts or is active. जो subject है he, वो active है. The verb wrote is therefore said to be in the active voice. In sentence 2, the subject letter is the receiver of the action. In other words, the subject of the verb writes doesn't perform the action or is not active or is passive. Active नहीं है, वो क्या है? Passive है, receive कर रहा है केवल. Here the subject of the verb is acted upon. The verb was written is therefore said to be in the passive voice. So we see that the active voice denotes that the subject of the verb in the doer of the action or acts or is active. Active voice में subject क्या है? Action को करने वाला, doer of the action. The passive voice denotes that the subject of the verb is the receiver of the action or is acted upon or is passive. Passive voice में क्या है? Subject receiver है action का. Important, only transitive verbs can be used in the passive voice. Passive voice में केवल transitive verb का ही use होता है. In active voice, subject मोहित, verb wrote, object a letter. In passive voice, a letter was written by Rahul. Right? Now extra facts. When a sentence is changed from active form to the passive, the object of the active verb becomes the subject of the passive verb. An appropriate form of the verb be, past participle or third form of the verb is used. Preposition by is used before the object of the passive voice. जो पैसिव वॉइस का ऑब्जेक्ट होगा उससे पहले क्या यूज करेंगे? बाई का. नाउ प्रेजेंट टेंस, एक्टिव वॉइस, आई राइट अ लेटर. पैसिव वॉइस, अ लेटर इज रिटन बाय मी, इज प्लस थर्ड फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब. नेक्स्ट, सुनीता इज टेलिंग अ स्टोरी. अ स्टोरी इज बीइंग टोल्ड बाय सुनीता, इज बीइंग प्लस थर्ड फॉर्म. इन पास्ट टेंस, आई रोट अ लेटर. अ लेटर वॉज रिटन बाय मी, was plus third form. Sunita was telling a story. A story was being told by Sunita, was being plus third form of verb. He had killed a lion. A lion had been killed by him, had been plus third form. In future tense, Rahul will tell a story. A story will be told by Rahul, will be plus third form. Rahul will have told a story. A story will have been told by Rahul, will have been plus third form. So these are the rules to follow. Right? I hope it is clear to you now. It's time to revise. You can revise it.